Hi there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Gigi and I'm here to give you your weekly tarot reading. Today we are simply going to investigate what do you need to know going into this week. So depending on what's on your mind, this could be a business reading, it could be a love reading, it could be a reading about personal growth. Wherever your energy is concentrated right now. So we're taking a moment to shuffle up these cards. This is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, which is by Lisa Sturl, and it's published by Liminal 11, which is a really cool publishing company. You should check them out. For sure, not sponsored, just a fan. Okay. One of the things I really love about this deck is it's taken the Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism and imagery, and it's made it really contemporary. It's cool, you know, for the high priestess, instead of holding a scroll, she's holding a laptop, like stuff like that. And for some of you that may seem cheesy or sacrilegious, perhaps, if you are really a traditionalist with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. But that's okay. Different strokes for different folks. I like this new understanding of the tarot. So we are going to divide these cards up into 3 piles. And the way you're going to choose your pile is, you could do it a couple of different ways. You could simply look at the 3 piles and pick the one that calls to you the most. Each pile will have a crystal. So you could choose the crystal that calls to you or that you need at this time. Or if you're into numerology, you can choose pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. So we'll find out what your message is today. Oops. Okay. Pile number 1 is going to be this pile all the way to my left. And it's going to get this funky little Caribbean calcite mushroom. Pile number 2 is going to be directly in front of me, and it's going to get this lovely little fluorite point. And finally, pile number 3 is going to be here to my right, and it gets this really pretty translucent opalite pyramid. So go ahead and choose your crystal, your pile, or your number, or however you're going to go ahead and choose your pile, and then go into the description and find your timestamp, and I will see you soon. Hi there, pile 1. Thanks for joining me to find out what you need to know going into this week. You got this funky little Caribbean calcite mushroom, which is really fun and chunky, and Caribbean calcite is a very soothing kind of a stone. So maybe if you've had a lot of tumult and turbulence in your life lately, this could be a good stone for you to work with. So let's see what you need to know about this week. You know, especially at the beginning of the week, you should be really aware of your energy levels and how they are affected by the people around you, because I feel like there could be a drain on your energy, especially around that Monday, Tuesday time. So just be very protective about who you spend your time with, what you spend your time doing and thinking about, so that way you're making the most out of your energy and you're not depleting it. Towards the middle of the week, I feel like things turn on their head a little bit. Things that have not been working out so well recently, suddenly, hi Pico, suddenly all those things kind of fall into place and start to hum along. But then things that you thought were all tidy and done with seem to come back and need a little bit of extra attention. So give a little bit of time and attention to the middle of the week, kind of making sure your ducks are in a row. Towards the end of the week, you probably are going to find that your thoughts kind of wander into territories that have to do with travel. So thinking about planning a trip, or even just a place that you would love to see, places that call to you, perhaps you visited them in past lives. I would encourage you to lean into these daydreams, because our imagination is a really magical place. And I feel like if you can see it in here, you can make it happen out there. I really, truly believe that. So I want you to really clearly, specifically start to think about If I had a little extra time, a little extra money, if I made that extra time an extra resource available to me, then where would I go? What would I do when I got there? What would I eat? What kind of people would I want to talk to? And really get into the fantasy of getting away, even if it's somewhere that's not very far away from you, but you've always wanted to check out. I strongly encourage you to do so. So, to summarize, at the beginning of the week, be a little bit aware of your energy levels and how other people, things, activities, and even yourself impact those energy levels. Midweek, things get a little bit topsy turvy. So make sure going into this week that you have all of your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And if they get undotted and uncrossed, then at least you know what you have to do to get them back on track. And finally, towards the end of the week, let your thoughts wander across the globe. Think far and wide or near and close, and how diverse of a place can I get to? How different of an experience can I have when I get there? I want you to ponder that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. If you'd like to, you can join me at the end for a quick little goodbye message. But if this is all you need, then thank you again for joining me. I hope you'll think about subscribing so you don't miss any future tarot readings. And join me for some of my vlogs too. It's a good way to see the place that I live and get a little bit of insight into my day as a reader. Okay, thanks so much, Pile 1. Well, hello there, Pile number 2. Thank you so much for joining me. You picked this stripy blue, purple, green fluorite tower. And this kind of tower is what we call a battery. So it's really good for collecting and amplifying energy. And fluorite has to do with matters of the mind. So if you feel like maybe you need a little extra oomph in your mental power, this would be a great stone for you. Let's see what you need to know going into this week ahead. Early in the week, I want you to be really intentional with the decisions you make and the actions that you take. Don't do anything out of force of habit if you can avoid it, because I feel like there are going to be some kind of vacuums, some time in your days in your life that are unaccounted for. I don't want you to think of that as free time. I want you to think of it as available time. So it's not really free, but you've made it available for yourself one way or another. How are you going to put it to good use? Ponder that. Towards the middle of the week, you're going to find that things that you've learned up until this point don't necessarily align with where you're going from beyond here. So it's okay that you've learned these lessons, that you've invested the time and the energy into all of this thought and study and this preparation, but it's also okay to leave the incubator. So take everything that you've learned, use what's useful, leave the rest behind, and step into this new energy midweek with an open mind, curious nature. What can I learn next? Finally, towards the end of the week, I feel like you've got some good energy coming your way. We've got the Eight of Wands, which is a really good luck kind of a card. It's also good news coming to you. So it's kind of like things are picking up the pace. I'm getting the messages that I want. And there's definitely that positive acceleration in your life. So to sum up for this week, be very intentional at the beginning of the week. Don't do things by accident or by force of habit if you can avoid it. Midweek, I want you to kind of take a personal inventory of some of the things that you've been learning and collecting and decide, what am I going to keep and what am I going to lay aside for now at least, and keep an open, curious mind. And finally, towards the end of the week, look out for some good news or good luck, maybe even some synchronistic events that are coming into your life that tell you that you're on the right track. Thank you so much for joining me, Pile number 2. If you'd like, you can meet me at the end of this video for a quick little farewell message. But if this is all you need, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you will consider subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss any upcoming tarot videos, and check out some of my blogs if you think about it, or rather vlogs, those video ones. They're right here on the YouTube channel, and they're a great way to get a sense of where I live and how I live as a tarot reader. Thanks so much, Pile 2. Hi, Pile 3. You picked this lovely, tranquil opalite pyramid. Opalite is a man-made stone, but it is really calming and peaceful. And depending on which way you shine it, it is very iridescent, has a lot of rainbows to it. So this might be a really good stone for you to be working with right now. Let's go ahead and see what the week has in store for you. Very cool. Okay, so beginning of the week, we want to nurture the comforting side of ourselves. So get really into that Taurus energy. If you're familiar with astrology, Taurans really love the creature comforts, good food, relaxation, comfy clothes. Oh, sorry for hitting my microphone there. Comfy clothes, low stress if we can, and just really making an environment both within and without yourself that reflects this kind of sensual nature. Yes. And that does include the bedroom too. So if you have a willing and able partner and the two of you consent to have some sexy time, that's a great thing for you. In the middle of the week, your body is going to want to move. I don't care how you move it, just get it moving. Whether it's dancing to your favorite song in the kitchen or going on a run if that's your thing, lifting some weights, or just doing 10 jumping jacks when you get out of bed in the morning. Get your body moving because there's a lot of energy kind of crackling around you midweek that needs something to do. It needs something kinetic. Otherwise, it's going to turn into kind of a restless, anxious energy. And we definitely don't want that if we can avoid it. Finally, towards the end of the week, there's someone that I think is coming towards you in your life who is going to be a really good partner for you. Now, depending on your situation and your station, this could be a romantic partner, but it could even be a business partner or a companion, a pet that you adopt or that adopts you, a friend that you meet or that you reconnect with. Whatever the circumstances, this is a marriage of equals. These are two people who are on the same page, or a person and a pet. Um, and this is like minds coming together. There's a lot of potential here in this relationship because you're in simpatico, at least at this time, that you can really move forward together. And two heads are better than one, right? So the two of you working together are going to get a lot more accomplished and cover a lot more ground than either of you would separately. So, to summarize, at the beginning of the week, nurture those creature comforts, get yourself feeling all nice and cozy. Midweek, move that body because otherwise it might turn into a restless, anxious energy. So, we want to get it out in a fun or active way. And finally, towards the end of the week, be on the lookout for someone coming into your life who's going to be able to partner with you to move you forward rather than be stuck or slow. Thank you so much for joining me, Pile 3. If you'd like, you can stick around for a little farewell message, but if this is all you need, I thank you for joining me. And I would like you to consider subscribing to the channel if you'd be so kind. That way you don't miss any tarot videos. And you can see my vlogs too, which explain about my place of living, my profession, all kinds of good stuff. So I hope to see you there. Thanks so much. Thank you all so much for joining me for today's messages. I'm going to give you one more bonus message. This is the overall energy for the week ahead. And the card that we got is the Page of Swords. So this is a really good learning opportunity and also the foundation of a new idea forming. So this would be a really good week to do any kind of research, to kind of put yourself out there, catch a new vibe, and go seek out your next big idea because I think you're right on the verge of it. Thank you so, so much for joining me. Please consider sticking around and subscribing to the channel if you like these tarot videos and you want to see more of them. And I hope to see you next week. Have a fabulous week. Make it magical. And remember to stay curious. Take care.